Not Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Great to have you with us. Thanks for being here to start the week. You know, this is the last week in October already. Seems like I was just playing that little collage, that montage of September songs.
That's true.
Because September had just started, and I was all excited because, you know, it's fall now. It's autumn.
Is it?
Football season. Yeah, it's only going to be 90 today.
I know, man.
It's only going to be 90.
Is the deal.
I hate it.
The
Texas.
next 2 days.
That's the deal. But then on Wednesday, things cool off.
Yes, they do.
By Friday, we're only at 70. Burr.
Yeah, so Halloween
chilly
Sunday.
Halloween coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Halloween is Sunday already. That just is crazy. Plus, guess what? Another caravan on the way. This one's really organized, too. All you had to do was, swipe your iPhone on their QR code, and you join the caravan. You're in.
For real?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I did not see that.
Yeah, they got a QR code. You just swipe your iPhone over the QR code, beep, and you're logged into the caravan. Isn't that great?
What?
Well, you think these are low-tech caravans that are coming from...
Which goes back to the point we made last time this happened. If you've got a cell phone, remember the guy was crossing the Rio Grande holding it up to keep it from getting wet?
Yep,
if
and they all do.
Got a cell phone,
right?
You're doing pretty well, I would think.
You're well enough that you don't have to break our laws to get into our country.
Yeah.
Right?
They busted through that line, southern Mexico, right?
Oh, yeah.
It was just by the thousands. The police couldn't hold them back and just pouring into Mexico.
And you know, the Mexicans just hate that. They're so pissed. We didn't stop them, so they're still coming to America. Darn it. I'm sure they really regret that.
Yeah. As long as you don't come to a stop, we'll let you keep moving.
Mm-hmm. So this apparently includes about 3,000 illegals in this particular group. And they're...
just women and children only, right?
Yes. Yes. Only babies and mothers. Nursing mothers and babies.
Wow.
On the way, yeah. Except when you look at the photos, some of those mothers have beards and stuff. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird.
It's
not that there's anything wrong with that.
And it's 2021.
Right.
Okay.
Who am I to judge bearded women? That's fine.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Right.
It is ma'am.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So.
Okay.
There's reports that members of the caravan carrying signs with President Joe Biden's name on them, including one that read, "Joe Biden is for all." If that's true, and it kind of is, that's a problem because he should be for America. But, you know, he's the American president. He's not there for Guatemala and Mexico and the Congo. He's there, supposedly, for the United States of America, but it doesn't seem that way.
I was about to say, I don't know that he is there for everyone because he's not there for us.
Yeah, he's there for everyone but Americans. So the Mexican National Guard established a roadblock. It was fortified by about 400 law enforcement officers, and they just bulldozed through it. Just blew right past them, and nothing really came of that. Except that, they might have slowed them down for about a minute and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept going along their way. So that's good. Now, the record numbers are pretty amazing this year. We reached a new milestone at the border with 1.73 million arrests. Now, that's just the arrests that they've made. Almost 2 million arrests. And the data has always been that they catch about 1 out of 3, I think. I think 1/3 of the immigrants that try to cross the border are caught.
And what was this time frame? Do you know?
Since the beginning of the year, since the beginning of the fiscal year, highest ever recorded. More than 1.1 million were single adults. Wait, I thought they were all women and children. 1.1 million?
It's coming to make a better life for their family.
Yeah, that's all. Don't worry about it.
So if 2 million have been arrested and only 1 out of 3 get arrested, that would mean that how many millions? 4 million have been flooding through?
Yes.
Cool.
4 million. That's outrageous. But we're supposed to just absorb that. Don't worry about it. Don't complain about it. Don't worry about it. Just welcome them with open arms. We just absorb it. Don't worry that there's a pandemic going on and we haven't tested any of these people. Don't worry about it. Okay? If there's another breakout, it's not from them, even though 20% of them were found to have COVID when they came across the border. Jeez.
It's fun.
It's fun. It's fun! As that woman screamed in her car. Although that wasn't the word she used, of course. Mm-hmm. But I think of that all the time because it's that's what you want to scream on a pretty regular basis because it is so frustrating. Yeah, it's so frustrating.
The population of the metro area of Seattle, it sounds like has spilled through unchecked.
So that's about
since the beginning of the year.
4 million of Seattle. Wow. Okay, good. That's good.
Boy, this is
every year we had a new Seattle. In illegal
immigration. That's not even the end of the year yet.
No,
we could be up to we can get up to 6 million, then we'll get up to Atlanta metro area.
Oh, nice. We get up to 7 million. You're in the Houston, Dallas kind of territory.
Yep. There you go.
Mm-hmm. We get up to 10 million. You're talking Los Angeles, probably.
That's more like Chicago. 13 million is going to be L.A.
Okay, and then 18 million, 20 million,
19, yes, sir. Yeah, right.
New York. Mm-hmm. All right.
So let's
just see how high we can get.
Let's not settle for Seattle.
Right.
We have a couple months left. Let's shoot for the stars.
Let's at least get to a Dallas Fort Worth level.
Almost.
Let's do that.
Almost 8 million here. So
or Houston. Houston and Dallas are about the same population wise. I think we got them by about 100,000 or so, but they're very close. Mm-hmm. So if we could get to 7 million, I'd be pretty happy.
I mean
that's good.
That's our goal, right?
Yes.
So we don't want to be ridiculous here as a company.
7 million illegals crossing our border.
Let's not set ridiculous goals and say we're not going to go for New York.
No, that would be silly.
We're going to settle for Dallas. So
okay. So there it is. We're going to settle for Dallas.
I mean, this is insanity.
It's
of the highest order.
Yeah, it is. And then for the White House to downplay the importance of it, to blame it every single time on Donald Trump. Well, yeah, we inherited an incredibly bad... No, shut up. This is by far worse than anything under Donald Trump. By far. From the children in cages to the number of illegals and the situation at the border with drug smuggling, human smuggling, sex trafficking. It's all multiple times worse.
Yeah, remember
than
all
it was under Trump.
Fentanyl deaths there along the border of Arizona.
Yeah,
I mean, pick your
unbelievable.
I don't want to say pick your poison, but just pick whatever issue you want to trace back to the border. It's there, man.
We've got Peter Doocy and Fox apparently did some digging because. Do we have the one where he's at the town hall and he talks about going to the border?
Well, you want the White House press briefing between Doocy and Psaki?
Well, first of all, there was Biden saying, and I don't know if we have this clip on the town hall.
I don't think so.
Okay. Anyway, at the town hall, he said, Anderson Cooper asked him, well, so are you going to go to the border?
Oh.
And he said, well, I've been to the border. And I know it very well. Really? Okay, you've been to the border, and you know it very well.
So he said that on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Which I guess leads into what happened Friday at the White House, huh?
So, yeah, they did some digging and found that, no, he's never been to the border.
What?
Never.
That's not what I heard.
Ever been to the border. Well, he drove by it. I mean, listen to this from Jen Psaki.
There is a focus right now on a photo op. The president does not believe a photo op is the same as solutions.
But he said,
that may be a difference he has with Republicans.
But that's not what he said either. He said, I guess I should go down. So does he think that he needs a photo op? Is that what he's saying? Jen, the leader of the union representing FedEx, UPS, and DHL, is saying that supply chain problems are going to get worse with labor shortages right before the holidays unless the president postpones the requirement to get vaccinated by December 8th. So what is more important to this president? the vaccine mandates or fixing the supply chain as fast.
I don't think this is the right. Yeah, this is not the right Jen Psaki clip.
No.
We do have. Do we have the Jen Psaki clip where she talks about him going to the border? He's been to the border. Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe not. This. But so Peter Doocy, and that was Doocy there again. But Peter Doocy was asking her about his trips to the border and said, "Hey, at Fox, we've done some checking, and it looks like he's never been to the border except he drove by it once."
Get it queued up.
And so so she said, "Well, yeah, that counts." He on a campaign trip in 2008, he landed at the El Paso border. Do we have it now?
Yeah, I think
okay.
Queuing it up here. Yep. Okay. So it's later in this clip, apparently. Wow.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So we just started it early? Is that what happened?
So, yeah.
All right.
These
So they're trying to be thorough.
These requirements.
Just so that I understand the position then, this union leader says that the looming December 8th mandate for having fully vaccinated workforces creates a significant supply chain problem.
We'll just listen through this.
Cool.
Right?
See what happens.
What I would point to, Peter, is the evidence we've seen.
This is what you would point to, Peter.
Large companies, private sector companies that have implemented these requirements
Thank you for
across
pointing
the
to
board.
that.
Okay, following up on something else the president said
Here we
last
go.
night.
All right.
Why did President Biden say he
Ta-da!
has been to the border?
Well, Peter,
Peter.
as you may have seen, there's been reporting that he did drive through the border when he was on the campaign trail in 2008, and he is certainly familiar with the fact, and it stuck with him, with the fact that in El Paso, the border goes right through the center of town. But what the most important thing everyone should know and understand is that the president has worked on these issues throughout his entire career and is well-versed in every aspect of our immigration system, including the border. That includes when he was vice president, and he went to Mexico and Central America 10 times to address border issues and talk about what we can do to reduce the number of migrants who are coming to the border. He worked in a bipartisan manner with senators like Ted Kennedy, Harry
I can't
Reid,
take
John
it anymore.
McCain, and others.
That's enough. So
he worked with people that are mostly dead now or out of the Senate.
She's really claiming that the drive-by of the border, she said he drove through. He didn't go across the border. He was driving parallel to it and looked at it. He looked at the border. He didn't stop. He didn't talk to border agents. He didn't talk to sheriffs. He didn't watch the illegals climbing fences. He didn't do any of that. Nothing. He drove by it, and they're counting that.
Pat,
that's unreal.
When I was a kid, I wanted to get to all 50 states. I mean, not while I was a kid, but that was my goal, right? And so I made sure everywhere I went, I logged it and everything. I caught a connecting flight in Dallas once. Yeah. And I was in the airport here.
So you've been to Dallas?
I didn't count Texas as a visit.
No, I've vacationed in London once.
Oh, tell us about it.
About 10 years ago.
Okay, what happened?
My plane landed at Heathrow.
Yeah, what'd you do when you got there?
I sat there on the plane and waited until it took off again. But what a vacation that was in London.
Hold on.
Man, it was cool. We saw Big Ben, you know, sort of from the window.
Yeah, multiple times where you drove around a circle.
Yeah, and the Thames, saw that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it was a beautiful vacation.
Did you go
in London that we took?
Try to get the guard at the Buckingham Palace?
No, couldn't do that. Not from the plane.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that was hard. So stupid. They think. What do they think? We're nursery school students. We're so stupid.
Yes, they do.
We will buy anything they sell us. Anything. Wow, that is something else.
Well, Peter, I think, as you might know, he actually drove through the border.
What? And he didn't, actually. He didn't drive through the border. He did not do that.
I mean, that would indicate that you crossed either the border or you went down the middle of those fences. He did neither.
He did none of that.
Stop with the lies, man. Fun.
Over the weekend, Jeffy tweeted out a clip from Joe Biden and his town hall.
Yeah, we didn't have this on Friday.
He wants to know what Biden is doing here. He's standing there with the fists clenched.
Yep.
It's kind of weird.
Told us at the town hall, I think it was in July, that this was just near-term inflation.
What are you doing?
The Wall Street Journal recently talks to like 67
Squeezing one out? What is
financial
happening?
experts.
It'd be
who said
fun
that
if
they
Anderson
saw high
stopped and said,
inflation
"What are you-
going all the way,
what are you
or
doing, Mr.
deep
President?
into
What are you-
2022.
what do you
Just
got
in terms
going
of
on there?
inflation, 'cause
Why are you
had
doing
told,
that?
us at a town
Hello?
hall, I think it was in July.
This is
that
unreal.
It is.
This was just near-term
Very weird.
inflation. The Wall Street Journal recently talks to like 67
Where are you, Joe?
Financial experts who said that they...
Joe!
I'm squeezing my pudding, so nobody will take it from me.
Oh, that's not where I was going. Oh, no.
Yeah.
That is
No,
weird.
I knew where you're going. That's
No,
why I added the
yeah.
end, so no one will take it from you. All right. So the internet took that, and
It's so bizarre.
it's really weird. Really, until the internet fixed it for him.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
how
the
about
internet
With,
fixed
just
it.
in terms of inflation, because you had told us at the town hall, I think it was in July, that
That is brilliant.
That's so good.
He's clutching the reins of a Shetland pony.
So good.
And I think there's more.
Oh,
here.
yeah, there's more.
Yeah, there's more.
just in terms of inflation, because you had told
He's got a
us at
jetpack.
the town hall, I think it was in July, that
Man, people are good. Mm-hmm. That is really good.
Now, yes.
That's fantastic.
Some people thought that reminded them of one of my more favorite cartoon characters. Little Beavis. Hey, look at there. He's got his fist.
have a green card.
See, he's got his fist clenched. That's Beavis.
Yeah, it's a Beavis thing.
Little
Wow.
Cornholio. Okay.
Really good.
I mean, if it weren't for those kind of moments on the internet and on social media, I mean,
We wouldn't survive.
seriously, if you couldn't laugh, we would all go insane.
Yes.
Little Jimmy Buffett, right?
Yes.
I mean,
No question.
but somebody sent me a message and said that it might be the effects of like a dementia drug or something. Like patients clench their fists or something like that. I didn't look
really?
into this. I didn't go to WebMD or call Dr. Fauci, who is that guy. So I don't know, but that's an interesting thought there.
Yeah, maybe. Seems reasonable. All right. We've got more. Actually, Saturday Night Live has noticed a few things about this president.
About time.
Finally, yeah, it's there's something to make fun of him on. Huh. Who saw that coming? We'll get to that in a second. But first, if you're trying to sell your home, you need a great realtor. Especially right now, because the market's kind of all over the place. It's I guess it's cooling down in some markets, heating up in others. But you need a realtor who can give you really good advice on how to sell your home quickly and for the most money. And that's realestateagentsitrust.com. They'll help you out. They're the ones with the great track records and marketing plans, and they'll be able to advise you on whether to repaint or remodel. Because sometimes there are certain remodeling projects that don't net you as much out of your house as you'd like, as you put into it. And you don't want that to happen. So you need a realtor who knows what you're going to get your money out of and what you won't. And they're fans of the show. So you're going to have things in common when you're driving around neighborhoods looking for the best place. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
So, Saturday Night Live might just be awakening to just how bad Joe Biden is. Check this out from over the weekend.
Also at the town hall, President Biden admitted that he has not yet had time to visit the southern border, though his approval rating has.
That's pretty good.
Insiders are also saying that during meetings, President Biden repeatedly uses the F word in conversation. More concerning, the F word he keeps using is forget.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
A little icebreaker for us there.
Okay. They noticed. They noticed. And not only did they notice, they did something about it. How about that?
Yeah.
Because they never did that with the great Obama. Obama was just, I mean, they finally got somebody who could imitate him, sort of, a little bit, but it was never anything mocking him, really. He was, you know, he was always just fantastic and composed and a superhero type. This was the cold open of Saturday Night Live with Biden and Psaki.
I tell you, you're dynamite in those press briefings with your quips and your one-liners. What do you call those little singers?
Facts. Though I believe the internet calls them sake bombs.
Yeah, love that.
No, we call them lies, bald-faced lies.
Okay, your CNN town hall was watched by no one, and your approval rating is in the dumpster.
Ice cold sake bomb. But hey, things are gonna turn around, right?
I'm bad at lying, so I'm gonna leave.
She's bad at lying. Wrong. They did not get that one right. She lies every freaking day through her communist teeth. Every single day. It's so frustrating. But, I mean, to give them credit, they did, 2 jokes, or 3 or 4 jokes, actually, there, if you include the Psaki thing, on Joe Biden. Which is, again, better than they did for 8 years with Barack Obama.
Mm-hmm.
This guy has apparently walked from New York City.
I've not heard of this until this weekend.
I haven't either. But he walked from New York City all the way to the border.
Looks like it, definitely.
Check this out.
I've been walking for about 57 days and 8 hours. I'm walking from Brooklyn, New York to Del Rio, Texas, where I'll then cross the Rio Grande into Mexico and then re-enter the United States as an illegal immigrant. That way I can get back on unemployment, get free housing, and so the government doesn't punish me for not being vaccinated.
Okay.
I've got about another 326 miles, and then I can get back to life as normal. Better start working on my accent. Wish me luck, amigo.
Wow, is that Mel Gibson walking in the world?
So that's real? Is he really doing it?
I guess. Yeah. I mean, I'm just doing the math here, which I'm terrible at. And if you walked for 24 hours, right, it'd be 27 days. He said how many?
57.
57?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's right.
One for every state.
But
according to Barack Obama.
Right. But as Rob down the hall just pointed out in my ear, Forrest Gump walked further and wasn't nearly as exhausted as that guy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's
put
right.
That in your pipe.
That's right. He seemed exhausted.
Sure did.
And I don't know if he started with the beard, but that's a good look now.
That
57 days later.
A lot going on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And for him to, what he should do is sneak across the border and see if he can get those benefits in Mexico. That might be a good.
That's a challenge, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And to show the difference between sneaking across the border into the United States and sneaking across illegally into Mexico.
Yeah.
You're treated just a tad differently.
A little bit. That's what I hear.
I'm guessing he doesn't want to be treated that way in Mexico. And that's why he's not doing that.
Another thing he could have considered is maybe wait until your next rest stop to turn the camera on so that we don't hear you pant for the next 30 seconds.
Yes. That might not be a bad suggestion.
But good luck. I hope it works out. I would like to see what happens when he tries to come back in.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
They might force him to get vaccinated.
Well,
he's an American.
He's an American.
Right.
They probably will. Yeah, they probably will. Jeez. All right. Speaking of Jen Psaki.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently
circle back to her?
She was she on with Chris Wallace, or was he just talking about her?
This is just so weird. Chris Wallace is just on Fox News, and he mentions Jen Psaki. They were talking about her or something like that, and he had this odd comment, which no one in the world agrees with.
Donaldson of this White House press corps. And since I was working in the press corps when Sam Donaldson is there, that's a very grudging compliment on my part. And Jen Psaki, I think, is one of the best press secretaries ever.
What? Wait, what? Jen Psaki, I think, is one of the best press secretaries ever. What?
On what planet are you on, Chris?
One of the best press secretaries ever.
That's asinine. What a dumb thing to say. What?
Yeah, I don't know that there's any analysis needed other than just weird.
Yeah, very
comment.
weird. Very weird comment.
And an opinion that I don't believe has been expressed by anyone else ever.
I don't think even Democrats are saying that. I haven't heard anybody make that observation. Hey, you know who's one of the greatest press secretaries ever?
Tell
is
me.
that Jen Psaki. Wow. Hasn't she been, she's been rocking that job. Hasn't she? Wow.
Huh.
Yeah, no. Nobody feels that way, Chris. What a weird observation on your part.
So weird.
And did he say he's been following this since Sam Donaldson? Sam Donaldson was gosh, he's been retired for a good long time. Was he in, he was at KTRH when you were in Houston, wasn't he?
Like he came in as a guest.
Sam Donaldson he actually had a show on our sister station.
No. I wasn't there for him more than 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least I don't recall.
Yeah, so I know Sam somewhat. And he is, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah. I remember he was on
I just
your
disagree
show.
with him, everything he probably has ever said.
No, my only interaction with Sam Donaldson was when he was a guest on your show, and so he called in, or we called him to put him through.
Mm-hmm.
And I just took a moment to just say, hey, thanks for being the only person to ever ask Bill Clinton about rape allegations. You think that would be important, that the president of the United States had been accused of that, and you were the only one to ask that question. So I appreciated that.
As little as we agree on, he was still he was a journalist.
Yeah, that's true.
So he would ask both sides occasionally. And I think less so toward the end of his career than, before that. Because it just became uncool to do that. Mm-hmm. All the left-leaning journalists just stopped being journalists after a while.
Yeah, 87 years old now, Sam Donaldson.
Sheesh. Yeah, I bet he is. He's been around a long time.
Yes, sir.
Long time. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Bill Maher over the weekend had some more common sense to lay on the world.
Uh-oh.
This is amazing. He warned liberals against wishing conservatives dead, which they do every day.
Right?
All day. So he said, you better be careful about this because the other side has way more guns and they know how to use them. He said, you're going to lose the I want you dead war because conservatives have way more guns and they know how to use them.
At least he's honest.
I love it. On Friday night's edition of HBO Real Time with Bill Maher, the host devoted his New Rules segment to the idea of a national divorce. Maher argued that in order to avoid the frightening scenario he laid out, people have to stop hating each other. He then cited people online and at his shows wishing their ideological foes would die and warned that liberals are at a disadvantage. Besides the fact that wishing people dead is a terrible place for your mind to be. If you're wishing them dead, you can be sure they're wishing you dead. You want a real war? Liberals? Really?
Wow.
You think you're going to win the I want you dead war? You're not.
Oh, man.
You're going to lose. They have way more guns and they know how to use them. And with all due respect, no one can hate like a right-wing conservative. I don't think that's true, but I've never seen more vitriol than exists on the left. Ever in my life.
No disagreement whatsoever. But to Bill Maher's point, I think what it would look like if conservatives and liberals had to literally fight it out, it would kind of resemble the video that you sent in of the guy at the convenience store. In other words, the conservative is the guy standing there by himself, and the liberals are the two guys that come in and try to rob the place.
Yeah. Watch this. Do we have that real quick?
Yeah,
All right.
And new
Here's
this morning, a robbery suspect is behind bars thanks to a brave U.S. Marine. Take a look at this video.
An armed man walks into the gas station, points a gun at the cashier.
Conservative standing there. Here come the liberals.
By the Marine. This happened at a Yuma
good night.
Yesterday. He was able to hold down the robbers when police arrived.
in
the other two suspects got
So
away.
that is
Thankfully,
boom.
no one was hurt. The deputies asked the Marine how he was able to control the situation. He said,
There you go.
The Marine Corps taught me
There you
not
go.
to mess around.
So Bill Maher's
and he didn't mess around.
example basically played out right there.
Yes. That's how it'll go, so maybe you don't want that. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed. Coming up. Got some tweets here. Axis Tech tweets. Let me get this straight. Apple blocked the app giving real facts about climate change, but they allow one in which uses QR codes to enroll in a caravan of illegals coming across our southern border.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Vern Lundquist tweets, they always visit El Paso, the most secure and heavily monitored portion of the border. Yeah, I don't even know that it really wasn't a border visit even then. It was a campaign stop in El Paso, and they just happened to drive by the border. Somebody must have said to him in the caravan, hey, Joe, Senator Biden, that's the border right there. Wow.
Yeah. Huh. And he probably leaned over to an aide and said, write that down. Now we can say I've been here to the border.
Right. Michael NP1701, driving by the border imparts even less expertise than staying at a Holiday Inn Express. Jimmy Dimples, why Biden's holding his fists like that at the 10 and 2 o'clock positions? Simple. He's driving through the border again. All right.
Yes.
Bovine scatology. I think you missed the kicker in Saki's statement, Pat. It wasn't that he drove through it, but it was in 2008.
Yeah.
There's been reporting that he did drive through the border when he was on the campaign trail in 2008, and he is.
Golly, how embarrassing!
Yeah, there's so much there that it's hard to cover.
And why would she say it like that? There's been reporting, like she's trying to say, look, it's legitimate. This was a border visit.
Yeah.
She can't just say he's been there in 2008. Oh, she's...
Well, she can't because they've already they checked all the records and nobody could find a single instance where he was at the border doing, actual investigation of the border. Like you would if you had the Border Patrol there and you were watching the area for a while as the illegals flood across the border so you know what's going on. No, he didn't do any of that.
During the campaign of 2020, just so you could say, I've been down there recently.
Right.
They don't care because they figured they would never have to call to answer to it.
Right. Rowdy Introvert, that Shetland pony clip made it on the show this morning was great.
Just in terms of inflation, because you had told us at a town hall, I think it was in July, that
that might be the earliest in the program that Pat has played an animal video.
Yes!
Is this the new softer side of Pat?
Yes! Is it?
I don't know if it qualifies as an animal video. Wow. You got the President of the United States sitting on it.
But there was an animal in the
But there was an animal. So, whatever.
It totally counts. Good call.
All right. AOC describing her relationship with Bernie. This is some weird stuff, I'm told. I haven't seen this clip.
Just look at what I don't understand this. It's just odd. It's just odd. The end.
Did somebody ask her about it?
I talked with Bernie on the phone a decent amount, not just because we're colleagues, but he's legitimately my friend and makes me happy.
Very weird. So does she do the close-up there? She must, right?
I didn't see where her hands were. I don't know. So if her aren't, she could.
Yeah.
If
zoom up on her eye like that, really weird. Is she trying to be sexy there?
I don't know what's going on.
I think play that again. She's like, I talk to Bernie all the time.
Yes, I talk with Bernie on the phone a decent amount.
Yeah.
Not just because we're colleagues, but he's legitimately my friend.
Oh yeah.
And makes me happy.
Yeah, she does the Zoom.
Really? He makes you happy, does he?
She was responsible for the Zoom and for making me ill.
No, she's definitely trying to be sexy there. I don't know why that would be. It's not really a sexy conversation. Unless she thinks, I don't know. Getting together with Bernie is a sexy thought. I don't
socialists
know. Whatever.
Hang with socialists.
Yeah, right. Whatever.
Oof.
That's great.
Gross.
To each his own.
Mm-hmm.
Or hers. Or theirs. Them. Whatever.
Yeah.
The Connecticut Senate Democrats posted a cartoon making parents who care about their kids' education.
The demonizing is in full effect of parents that care.
Yeah.
In fact, I was reading an article this weekend from CNN talking about how it's unprecedented how angry and how much money is being put into school board elections this year. That's because parents are finally fed up after what you've done to their kids for the last 18 months and continue to with CRT and transgender stuff. Never mind the masks and some places vaccine requirements for kids. So finally parents are pushed too far. I appreciate that.
Yeah, they're taking a stand, which is great, but not according to this cartoon. going trick-or-treating? No, going to a school board meeting.
Oh, and they're all dressed up like horror characters, with
like Halloween.
Freddy and Jason and
Texas Chainsaw Massacre person.
Pennywise.
That's really...
And those are concerned parents. And now they're and that's from the
Demonized
Connecticut Senate Democrats. Cool.
Jeez.
Cool.
Unreal. Then there's this wonderful teacher singing about how parents are terrorists. So
creepy, lady.
Here's your ostinato. Terrorist, terrorist, purple for parents are. Terrorist, terrorist, purple for parents are. While some had good intentions, they all were misinformed. Now threatening violence, doxing teachers has become the norm. They come to school board meetings with lots of things to say, and they will bully, cuss, or scream if they don't get their way.
Wow. What a lunatic.
Why do liberals have to always sing their bullcrap?
I don't know. And why do they always have to be so wrong?
Yeah.
There's a reason they're on the left, and we're right.
Hey-oh, ha, ha.
It's not a coincidence that we're right.
Okay.
We're right for a reason. Because we're right. That's why. So deal with it. I love how they're just trying to silence everybody. Just don't speak. Don't care about your kids' education. Leave us alone to continue the indoctrination. Shut up. Remain quiet. At every turn, they're telling us to shut up and sit down. Whether it's vaccines or mask wearing or CRT or whatever the case may be. They just don't want any opposition because they can't take it. They can't take it. If you don't believe in 97 genders, shut your mouth. You're a bigot. You're a transphobe. I mean, I'm so tired of it.
Loudoun County doesn't even want to hear from the dad of the girl who was raped saying, oh, that didn't happen, even though email records show that they acknowledge that it happened. Oh, gosh.
Fortunately, the law enforcement backed them up that it did in fact happen, and they have a record of it. And so the school board saying, I'm sorry, that person in that event didn't exist, look really bad now. Really bad.
Yeah, and that guy, that dad, getting angry that his daughter was raped in a school.
Yeah, by a kid wearing a dress.
Thank you. That is what was the igniter for the FBI to crack down on parents at school board meetings.
Yeah, and the guy didn't get violent either. He wasn't violent. He yelled.
Yep.
He was pissed, but he wasn't violent. He wasn't hitting anybody or threatening anybody or throwing chairs. He wasn't doing any of that. And they took him down. It was, it's inconceivable to see what's going on. And, speaking of parental involvement, did you see the story in Shreveport, Louisiana, where violence had broken out and got out of control at the school?
Yeah, you know what? I did see that.
There's a high school in Shreveport, Louisiana, and apparently there were 23 arrests in the last couple of weeks because of all the student fighting. And it was serious. It was ugly violence to the point where they were arresting kids. In one day, they arrested 14 kids.
Wow.
And so they were just out of control, didn't really know what to do. One of the dads had an idea, and he sent around a sign-up sheet to all the dads of the kids who were getting in trouble. 40 of them signed up and started patrolling the school grounds during school hours.
I love it. They just walk around in these orange shirts and tell dad jokes.
So great. From the minute the dad patrol started, the violence ended. Completely ended.
And
they haven't had a single problem since. The kids all go to class now. Nobody's out fighting anymore. Everybody feels safe again, and it just stopped.
Yeah.
It stopped dead. Better than, police patrolling the area, better than teachers doing that, better than some school patrol. It was the parents. It was the dads who got involved and put a stop to it.
I love it. These guys walk around the halls, giving the side eye, like, ain't you supposed to be in class right now? Just stuff like that.
And that's what the students were talking about.
Yeah, and the kids love them. And these guys are already planning on the entire state of Louisiana adopting this program.
And maybe across the country.
I hope the whole nation. Yep.
Really awesome.
It is the blueprint for parents getting involved and making a huge difference.
I love
just
it.
like that.
Yep. I mean, it's amazing that 40 dads were able to, I don't know about their work schedules or whatever. How they made that happen, but that's awesome.
They found a way.
They found a way. And they took it into their own hands. They said, one of them said, who better than us?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who cares about these kids more than we do? And that's the thing. No one does. That's why it's so important for parental involvement to happen in all of these schools. But that is a great example of a place where they really had some problems and they came together quickly. It was a simple solution. Nobody had to have their heads bashed together. Nobody had to be, no further arrests had to happen. The dads aren't armed. And one of the kids was asked by a reporter, and I think you kind of referenced this, Keith, but one of the students was asked, well, what are they doing to keep things calm? You ever heard of the side eye?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Yep.
They're just looking at them and sending that dad look. And that sends them running off to class.
Yeah, you know what else sends them off running off to class is the girl referencing the dad jokes that they tell.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
And there's just great videos. We'll play this news report tomorrow if you want to, but I just love it because there's just this one shot where the dads are all gathered around a cell phone with this kid and they're all laughing at a video on whatever, TikTok or something, just having a good time. I mean, just being there. How many times have we heard that as parents? Just be there. Be there. Makes a huge difference.
And it worked so well.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody had to get hurt. Nobody had to get killed. Dads got involved and it stopped. It's phenomenal. We've been telling you about Rough Greens for quite a while. This is a supplemental powder that you put on your dog's food. Just sprinkle it on top. And that puts back all the nutrients that have been burned out of your dog's food because it's sterilized so that it lasts on the grocery store shelf for a long time. My dog loved this stuff right off the bat, and she wouldn't even eat her food unless the Rough Greens was sprinkled on top of it. Just turned up her nose and walked away. So most dogs absolutely love it, and it puts back the vitamins and minerals and the probiotics, the omega oils that your dog needs to be happy and healthy and really active again. But there are some dogs who take a little while to get used to it. So you might want to see if, before you jump in with both feet, see if your dog's going to like this or not. That's why they're willing to send you a free bag of Rough Greens for your dog to try out. Just a few days. It's a small little pack, and all you have to pay for is shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Or you can call 833 Rough Dog.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Speaking of critical race theory, Condoleezza Rice was on The View talking about it on Friday. Here's what she had to say about critical race theory.
The whole issue of critical race theory and what is and is not being taught. I come out of an academic institution, and this is something that academics debate. What is the role of race and so forth? And let me be very clear. I grew up in segregated Birmingham, Alabama. I couldn't go to a movie theater or to a restaurant with my parents. I went to segregated schools till we moved to Denver. My parents never thought I was going to grow up in a world without prejudice, but they also told me that's somebody else's problem, not yours. You're going to overcome it, and you are going to be anything you want to be. And that's the message that I think we ought to be sending to kids. One of the worries that I have
You can
about
clap.
the
You
way
can clap,
that
y'all.
we're talking about race is that it either seems so big that somehow white people now have to feel guilty for everything that happened in the past. I don't think that's very productive. Or black people have to feel disempowered by race.
Thank you.
I would like black kids to be completely empowered, to know that they are beautiful in their blackness. But in order to do that, I don't have to make white kids feel bad for being white. So somehow this is a conversation that has gone in the wrong direction.
How do you disagree with that?
Perfect, 100%.
How do you say, no, you bigot? Wait, I just said.
You notice how quiet the ladies on The View were? They weren't expecting that. They don't oh, crap. Because they thought when she set it up, talking about Birmingham, tell us about your childhood and how much it sucks out there. They didn't realize where this thing was going. And, of course, they didn't turn on the applause light. So, like, the lemmings in the audience were like, that's common. Should we clap at that? That's common sense.
Yeah. Is it okay to clap for not punishing white people? I don't.
Right.
I'm not sure. Is that a good thing?
I've been conditioned to hate myself, but I like what this lady's saying.
Wait a minute. I don't have to hate me and my family? Ugh.
And ain't nobody associated with The View turning on the applause light for that common sense.
No way.
Now, if she had said, oh my gosh, let me tell you about growing up in Birmingham, and it continues today. Black people are hated everywhere, and we have no. Oh my gosh, they would have been turning up the lights and applause and
screaming. Mm-hmm. Yeah, rush the stage.
Wait,
put her on their shoulders.
Wow.
Yeah, it would have been something.
Then they find out she's a Republican.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, our mistake. Got caught up in the moment.
Wait, did you guys forget about the Bush administration?
Yeah, our bad.
Yeah, they probably did. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We got a whole nother stack of goodness about how terrible Joe Biden is, and
I know.
It just doesn't end.
It does not.
The terribleness of Biden. That's a topic that knows no end. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Over the weekend, BYU played Washington State.
And, the anti-vax guy.
Actually beat them. But they actually played pretty well, despite the fact that their coach had been fired the previous Monday because he didn't get vaccinated. Amazing to hear all the sports people talking about this guy and sounding off on how silly it was that he left or was unwilling to get the vaccinated so that he wouldn't be fired. Is there anybody who believes in personal freedom? Right. Aside from the politics and sports, which I'm so sick and tired of. But this one, I guess they had to talk about it, and you knew what their opinion was going to be ahead of time. But they talked about it incessantly and almost unanimously. I didn't hear anybody say, you know what? I mean, the guy stuck to his guns.
Mm-hmm.
And for them to try to not pay him now because he's been fired with cause, I don't see how you make that point at all. Did they put that in the contract that in case there's a pandemic in the future, you got to get a vaccine? I don't think so. If it's not a condition of employment to begin with, how do you then make it one years later?
Because we are living in hell now.
Yeah. And I mean, the guy was making $3.2 million a year, and he had a contract through 2005, so they owe him
25.
2025. Mm-hmm. So they owe him what? Another 4 years, so $12 million.
Pay up,
I say. And he's gotten a lawyer. Good. So we'll see if that actually happens.
This could end up being bigger than just his salary. This could be far-reaching.
Yes, absolutely.
A lot of these cases.
Be interesting to see how that pans out when they go to court, if they wind up doing that without settling. Because I can't see that the university has a leg to stand on.
And this would be a state mandate, correct? Is this part of the, and I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with Washington State, other than
Jay Inslee thing?
I just know recently that we had the trooper who had to resign.
Yeah.
I think it was a state mandate, and I wonder if that's a state, since it's a state university.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Is that where it just extrapolates
I'm sure it is, yeah. Yep.
Madness.
And it wasn't just him. 4 other assistants, too, were dismissed because they didn't want the vaccine either. Jeez.
I'm glad they lost to BYU.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this. See, because I'm a diehard
BYU. You sure are.
Fan.
Clearly.
I don't even know what that's doing back there. Go Cougars. Hey, you're ranked again.
Yes.
So that's good.
Squeaked back in, which was nice. 6-2 on the year. We play 6-2 Virginia on Saturday.
I would kill
with our old coach. Yeah, I know you would. I know you would. Get to play Bronco Mendenhall's Virginia Cavaliers on
That's
Saturday.
where he ended up, huh?
It's going to be fun. Yeah, it's going to be cool. Who? Speaking of making 3.2, he left for 3.5h million. So yeah,
what was BYU paying him?
Okay, I think around 1.7, 1.8.
It'll.
Yeah,
get that out of my face.
He probably doubled his salary. When he left.
How's Virginia doing though?
6-2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just beat Georgia Tech 48-40 over the weekend. Yeah, so not bad. Now, you had a bye, right?
Oh, a 9 overtime game, Illinois and Penn State.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, and it hurts my heart.
I didn't see it either, but I hate the new rule. Sucks. If you go into a third overtime, you get the ball at the 2 or 2.5 or something, and you get one play. And if you make it, if you get a touchdown, it's a 2-point conversion. You get 2 points. Get out of here.
I'm with you. I like the old school.
That sucks.
Do the whole drive from the 25 or whatever it was.
Yes. Just keep doing that. I mean, you still went, and they wanted to do it to end the game quicker. This went 9 overtimes.
I think they'll be revisiting this rule again.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, bye for Huskers, so that's good. That makes for a good weekend.
And by the way, more on trivia. Wrong again.
Disastrously wrong. Tennessee destroyed Kansas City.
What is wrong with Kansas City this year?
3-4 on the year.
Not good. But the Packers and Falcons both won.
Yeah, the Falcons crushed the Dolphins on a last-second field goal.
Wait, they crushed them on a last-second field goal?
And that last-second field goal.
I guess if you're a Falcon fan, that is kind of a crushing
You know what? That's the kind of game, honestly, though, and I'll make this very fast. That's the kind of game where the Falcons blew it at the end, but then they came back and won. You know, and they can't play the Dolphins every week, but that's a little hope, right? You know, that you blew it, but you're able to come back and make the Dolphins blow it more.
What's the record now?
3-3.
They
are literally.
That's not bad.
Pat, they are literally the top 7 teams go to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They're 8th right now.
Yeah,
watch out for the Falcons.
You watch out. Got a long way to go though.
Yeah.
17 games this year. Got some tweets here. Jeffy's Meat Sweats tweets. It's amazing how open to different opinions AOC is. As a communist, she's so open. She's friends with people as far right as a socialist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just gut check. Stop.
Right? Mandy Gifford 4. It isn't just that these left-wing teachers are always wrong, but they're telling their students that their parents are wrong. Right? Ooh. Right. That should be grounds for immediate termination. Jimmy Dimples, why the childish sing-songs for the left? Simple. You got to break it down to the Sesame Street level for them to get it. Chris L., the president doesn't need to visit the border to know what kind of mess was left there by the previous administration. Jen Psaki, one of the best press secretaries, according to Chris Wallace. I lost it. I literally lost all hope when nobody challenged her. Wow.
Yeah, Peter Doocy on an island there.
Oh, he's amazing, though. I mean, every day this guy makes news because he's bold enough to ask her these questions, and almost nobody else is.
I don't think it's hyperbole to say that he is the most important part of those press conferences every day.
Right. Oh, for sure.
I mean, because if he's not there, then,
those questions don't get asked.
No. And you don't hold, nobody will hold this administration to the fire.
And fortunately, he's in that front row now. He got up to the front row somehow as a Fox News correspondent. And I guess they've got tenure. I don't know. But it's tradition for them to call on the front row.
How have they not eliminated that tradition?
I don't know. But I'm glad they haven't.
Give him time.
And he asked a series of questions there. And she stuck with him the whole time. That's amazing. It's amazing. But hats off to Peter Doocy because, I just thought he was like a nepotism waste at first. They just thought, okay, he's...
And I think the reason we thought that because they were giving him fluff to cover.
Yes.
Go to the
That is
Easter
true.
egg roll and talk to the bunny.
Yes.
See if you can get a good quote from Mr. Easter Bunny.
That's exactly the kind of stuff he was doing.
But I think they were just kind of getting him in to the White House itself area.
Yeah, and he turned out to be...
He's incredible.
I really good.
Really respect him.
Maybe the best White House press correspondent of all time.
Oh, good.
Uh-huh.
To match wits.
Yeah, yes. To match the greatest press secretary of all time. So there you go. Let's go to Mary in Texas. Hey, Mary, you're on the Blaze.
Hi, good morning. Love the show.
Thank you.
I have been, you're welcome. And I've been thinking about this. The last time I voted and for a school board member, it said nonpartisan. Every one of them are nonpartisan.
Yeah,
you don't know what party they're affiliated with. And I'm thinking, if you're running for an office, I don't care if it's school board. We need to know what party you belong to. I think that's why they've gone crazy. I don't know if it's that way in every place, but it's that way in Arlington.
Yeah.
I looked them up on the computer, and you can't find any information about what party they belong to.
Right, that's true.
Call them. Call their office.
Appreciate it, Mary. And by the way, Keith was waiting for the Mary, don't you know me? But it's not close enough to Christmas yet.
What do you mean?
Don't you know me, Mary? Mary, it's me. It's George. George Bailey.
We appreciate you.
You're screwy, Mary.
So I didn't realize there was a Christmas time window for the impersonations from It's a Wonderful Life.
Sort of.
Really?
Not necessarily, but kind of.
It's not too early for Christmas references, though. I mean, we already have the Christmas wish lists out there for Democrats and Republicans. I don't know if you saw this. We're hoping that we can, for Democrats, we need to get them some brains.
Oh, dear Santa, brains for Democrats, balls for Republicans. That's good.
But we appreciate that. On behalf of your audience, we appreciate you allowing us into
being a trained monkey.
Yes.
Yeah. The nonpartisan thing does make it tougher, but you do have to go to their website and you have to look at their policies. What do they believe? What are they trying to do? What have they proposed? Those kinds of things. So it takes more effort, but it's worth the effort.
Yeah, you can go to a place, I think, called Ballotpedia, League of Women Voters. And the reason you go to those sites is you can find quotes from them. Like they'll be asked a specific question and there's a quote by them. And it's very telling if it says, candidate did not respond to our request. Oh, well then, I guess...
Well, next.
Yep.
Next.
So you can tell a lot if you just do a little bit of digging, or like do what my youngest did. I cannot believe she on her own called all these candidates, recently in the last election cycle.
Who did that?
My youngest daughter just called their offices and
did she really?
Yeah, because they're listed like I forget what it was. I don't know. It wasn't district attorney or something like that, but it was like, she's an attorney. So she Googled attorney and the name of the lady and called their office. And she's the one that answered the phone and spent a lot of time with her on the phone. Now, I completely disagree with her politically, but thank you for
that's great.
Treating my child with respect and answering her questions.
That's great. Probably her first time to vote, right?
No, she was at the time 11 or 12.
Oh my God.
She was just...
Really?
I'm raising nerds and I love it. Yeah. But it just speaks to...
Is she old enough now?
No, she's 13. Yeah.
Okay, so how old's your oldest then?
18. She just voted.
She's 18.
She was able to vote in the, I don't know, the May...
2020?
We do a weird election here. Yeah, May.
Oh, in May, yeah. There's,
it's right.
We have an election every 6 months.
Right, exactly.
Every 6 months.
That's a fact.
November, May. And it's like, okay, can we ever stop voting here or what? We taking this process a little too seriously? I don't want to vote for your stupid judges. I don't know anything about them. All right. First of all, there's a nonpartisan one that how do you base your vote on the judges and whether you retain them or not?
I'll tell you what I do. I do a Google News search for their name, and if something comes up, they're like, oh my gosh, he allowed that person to go back on the street. I'm like, okay, next.
Yeah, okay.
But that's, you literally have to really find a good micro example.
That's a really hard one. 888-900-3393. Cost of living going up? No, not much.
Not in this country.
We just had a restaurant that posted. A restaurant owner posted this about some of the price increases that he's endured. Fryer oil, 12 months ago was $21. 6 months ago was $35, and today $45.
More than doubled in price, this restaurant owner, for fryer oil.
In a year.
Wow.
More than doubled in price. Chicken wings were $45 a case 12 months ago. My gosh.
Oh, no.
$175 a case today.
Oh.
From $45 to $175.
Keith Math says that's 4 times as high.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Jeez.
But wait, this is the tragedy of the treadmill, right?
Yeah,
according to the greatest press secretary of all time.
Right. Takeout boxes, $25 12 months ago, $95 today. Another more than tripled in price. This is the same for all our cleaning, our paper, and food we use. God. If a local restaurant adds a few dollars to your meal, it's not to get rich. It's to continue to stay in business.
God.
Yeah, it's the same for your local cookie company as well.
What's that now?
By the way.
So the same principle applies to a cookie company?
Uh-huh.
Is there any, you said a local, you mean a generic local cookie company, or is there a specific?
Like a Kexi.com type place that...
It's oddly specific?
Although we have not yet raised our prices.
Wow.
We're still eating the cost.
So to speak. See what you did there?
I see.
Kind of made it a cookie pun.
Mm-hmm. Now, that can't happen forever, of course, but it happens for a while. All right. Even the gecko Geico understands what's going on here with everything going to hell under Biden. He's got
a message for us?
Got a little message for us.
Gecko?
Switching back to Trump could save you 15% or more on everything.
Yeah, or more. 50% or more.
Damn Trump back.
Thank you.
And a lot more, actually.
A lot more than 15%.
I mean, look at the year-to-year prices that this restaurateur was talking about. 4 times, 5 times the price in some cases. My gosh, that's insanity. It's insane. And it's not just food either. It's everything. It's the housing. If you're building a house, check out the lumber cost.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. I was talking to my dentist the other day. They're building a house, and there's like some extra wood left over at the site.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, I'm going to talk to the builder, because if you bought wood for my house and you have extra wood left over, I want to be reimbursed for that, because it's so expensive. The guy had to pay for this wood. He's not going to let him go use it somewhere else now. Now, in pre-Joe Biden America, we were just been like, you going to use that wood? Or, I mean, I might take it if you don't need it. But now it's like gold.
Mm-hmm.
What a country we are.
And copper? Do you have any copper on your house? That's gone through the roof.
The wiring?
Yeah, the wiring or
like
plating.
Oh,
some of the homes with
I never think of it like that. I just think of
turrets have the copper top on it. Like this house in our neighborhood had a copper top on it that looks beautiful.
How
now.
big is this area?
It's pretty big. It was $95,000. The roofer told me to replace the copper after the hailstorm. $95,000.
I don't know that it's going to cost that much to rebuild my entire house.
What? This guy spent it in copper.
Oh, man.
Although I'm sure insurance took care of most of it.
But they won't pass that along as higher rates to everybody in the neighborhood, will they?
No, of course not.
I hope you don't have the same company as Copper Top Boy over there. You might want to just casually ask, since you're the neighborhood gadfly, you might want to just stick your head over the fence and go, "Hey, neighbor, just out of curiosity, you satisfied with your home insurance company? Who is it?" Thinks, "Oh, it's not mine. I'm out of here." Gosh, man.
The guy also has Chubb, so that's
what now?
That's his insurance company is Chubb.
Oh,
so
is that a big name?
Oh,
that's not a circle. I'm
the
in.
biggest. And
when you say Chubb, I just think
expensive.
Of the running back for the Cleveland Browns. You're saying that's a
like a house payment for your insurance.
So maybe the insurance rate won't affect you immediately.
Yeah, maybe not.
It'll just trickle throughout the entirety of the home insurance industry.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Copper top 95K.
Yeah.
Shut up.
It's glowing right now, though. I'll
What's
tell
this
you, when
guy
the
do
sun's
for-
out, it's unreal.
Oh, don't look directly at it.
Unreal.
It'll burn your retina.
But the thing is that in 6 months, it will dull and look just like it did a year ago. And
He's got to get up there with like the little
with the cleaner
bathtub
stuff.
you know, comment.
Yeah.
I want to see your neighbor who
wanna see him
uses
do
Chubb
that.
up on a ladder.
I want to see him do that too.
Seriously,
I'm thinking no.
What does this guy do?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
But you know everybody
I know.
in your neighborhood.
I'm usually.
How's this guy gotten under your radar?
I don't know. I need to stop by. I really do, and say hi because
If
you
for
know me.
nothing else,
You know me.
be friends with an uber rich guy,
Yes.
dude. You're missing out.
Very true. All right, let me tell you about Omega XL. This is something that can get you out of pain. If you're in pain, your back, your knees, neck, shoulder pain. I had really bad elbow pain, and it was inflammation that was causing it. And, you know, sometimes you can tell because you can touch that joint and feel the heat coming off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just miserable. And it can be, you know, life-altering because you're limping or you can't lift with that arm or who knows. Just in pain all the time. That just sucks. Well, Omega XL builds up in your system. For me, it took about a week before the pain started to alleviate. And then after 2 weeks, it was gone. So this is awesome. And it could change your life. It's backed by 35 years of clinical research. It's been around a long time. They really know what they're doing. It comes from the omega fatty acids around the waters of New Zealand. And so it really does work. Give it a try. If you've tried everything and nothing works for you, go to omegaxl.com/Pat. When you buy your first bottle, they'll throw in a second one for free. omegaxl.com/Pat or call 800-844-4888.
Pat Gray on the Blaze Radio Network.
And tomorrow starts the World Series.
Oh, is that right?
My Astros take on Keith's Braves.
Oh, that's tomorrow?
Interesting.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. So
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it should be fun.
You got a team of destiny playing a team of cheaters.
See if they can win it without cheating this year. You know they didn't do that this year. Come on now. There's no way. Right? I mean, you'd have to be a moron to try that again.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful that they can win it in a clean way this year.
Yeah, if you're
We'll see.
a neutral fan just watching just for the fun of it, you can root for the Braves, who are a feel-good story, or you
Are
could
they?
root for the cheaters from Houston.
Not cheating this year. They're not cheating.
It's good. Looking forward to this series. It's been a wild ride for the Braves, so hope it continues.
It's been a continued normal ride for the Astros.
Nice. 3 out of 5 World Series they've been in. Yeah.
Pretty good.
And when I heard that fact, I didn't think about it before I just started hearing it the last couple of days. I looked it up. So the Braves were in 5 of 8 back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And they managed to win all of one of them. Hurts. Hurts to think back.
And they haven't been in there since into the World Series since '99.
That's
is it?
right. Yeah.
So, yeah, this would be fun.
Yeah. How do you
fun.
win one World Series with Maddox, Glavine, and
Yeah, I
Smoltz?
don't know. That's bad.
You know what it is? It's called Atlanta. It's a curse.
There's something to that.
And I contend that the only reason they won in 95 is because the season started late because of the lockout, and the universe didn't realize it was time for an Atlanta team to choke. They were like, oh, no, it's still regular season.
That's a good theory.
Yeah,
that's a good theory.
That's all. That's the only championship
well,
Atlanta
maybe.
has. And don't send me a tweet about the soccer team in Atlanta.
Soccer
Well, they won. Arthur
Does
Blank.
anybody even know there is a soccer
Yes,
team
Arthur
in Atlanta?
Blank
Get
owns
outta
the
here.
Falcons, and he owns
Get
the
out.
soccer team, and they won it.
Get out.
And people are always telling me, "Stop saying they've only won the one with the Braves." Got it. It's soccer doesn't
In a
count.
real sport. Come on.
Doesn't
Not a communist sport. We're talking real sports here.
Yeah.
Football, baseball, basketball, maybe even hockey. But don't start throwing soccer.
Yeah, we got enough similarities to the third world in America as it is for me to be glomming on to soccer.
By the way, anybody see Dune over the weekend?
I've heard mixed reviews.
Really, I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it a lot. But yeah, there are mixed reviews. But I thought it was really good. Really good. And it's only part 1. So don't expect it to resolve itself because it doesn't.
Oh. So is it in theaters and HBO Max?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right.
Yes, it is.
I have to check it out.
Yep. All right. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
On the Blaze Radio Network.
Yeah. Over the weekend, this is great. The Washington Post had to issue a correction. A previous version of this article incorrectly said a crowd broke into a "Let's Go Brandon" chant during a Donald Trump Jr. speech in Georgia. The crowd actually broke into an F Joe Biden chant at that speech in September. The error, which was inserted by an editor, has been corrected. They have no idea.
That is awesome.
Are you kidding me? You don't know that that's the code for the F Joe Biden thing.
I think that it's just top of mind, and I don't know. That's funny though.
That's bad. If they don't know the reference there, that's pretty sad for the Washington Post. Come on. Jeez. Do you watch anything but CNN? Anything? Congressman Bill Posey made sure "Let's Go Brandon" is now part of the congressional record.
Oh, no.
Here's how.
And leave it the hell alone. Let's go, Brandon. I yield back.
So now it's in there forever, just like the communist goals. Let's go, Brandon. I yield back.
He didn't really say it right, but
yeah, he didn't, right? Thank you for pointing that out.
He did not say
I
it right.
thought that the effort
Let's
was
go,
not
Brandon.
there.
Yeah, that's no, dude. Let's go, Brandon. Come on.
So it'll read properly in the record, but thank you for acknowledging that he just phoned it in. Let's go, Brandon.
If you're going to do it right. Right?
Yes.
That's where I'm at.
I yield back.
This is kind of interesting, too. A Joe Biden corn maze. Sarah Toothpaste Words sent this in to us.
Yeah, look at it. It's a complicated maze.
A pretty bad maze that you probably get lost in forever. Well, if you're Joe Biden, there's 2 corn stalks there.
That is epic.
And that makes it a Joe Biden corn maze.
That is so
funny. That is funny. I don't know where to go now.
Oh.
Why am I not wearing any pants?
I don't know. Are your fists still clenched, sir?
Yes.
What's that all about?
I don't know. I think I'm waiting for a jetpack to be put in my hands.
Oh, well, let's help you out there, sir.
Or
Here you go.
could I ride a Shetland pony?
About that, with just in terms of inflation, because you had told us at the town hall, I think it was in July, that
I love that. That's really
and
nicely
kudos
done.
to Anderson Cooper, because on both occasions, whether the jetpack or the other one with the Shetland pony, he kept his cool.
He kept his cool. He did.
Composure.
About that, with just in terms of inflation, because you had told us at the town hall, I think it was in July.
And I mean, the Shetland pony's making some noise, so that's a little distracting, but
Sure
he
is.
keeps going. He's a pro, man. He's a pro. Yep.
Where did the pony come from? That's what I'd be saying if I were Anderson.
Okay. And we had we didn't get to this last week. I guess there was a little surprise party planned.
Kamala Harris had a big birthday party, right?
Yeah, and she came in, and there was a big surprise for her.
Was it?
Well, sort of. Watch this.
She says surprise. That is... Who says surprise at their own surprise party? Which... Oh, this is good. Listen to this. They don't know what to say. Kamala,
Madam Vice President. And that reminds you, if Biden were to be removed from office, do you really want her as president of the United States?
That's a negative.
No.
Which, by the way, on that little surprise at my own surprise birthday party, everybody wearing a mask. You don't think they like, here come, we got to have the camera on, everybody in a mask. All right, we done singing. All right, rip the masks off. You know, as soon as they got done singing that song to her, the masks were off.
Yeah, as soon as the video was off, so were the masks.
And what were they, her and her husband kissed with the masks on? That's the dumbest thing ever. It's the dumbest thing ever.
The whole thing is just, it's pathetic. Mm-hmm. It's pathetic. CNN analysis of Biden's public schedule indicates that Biden has spent a significant amount of time away from the White House. Wait a minute. I thought he didn't have time to go to the border. He just didn't I don't have any damn time. I don't have any damn time. I've been so damn busy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you've been out of the White House 108 days already.
Wow.
108 days that he has spent in places like Delaware and Camp David, where he's resting, relaxing, getting dementia treatments.
Shock therapy.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Lobotomy.
For Donald Trump at this same point, who was, the media was all over him every time he left. 61 days.
So 61
108
for Trump.
to 61.
108 to 61.
It's not even close. Second place is Bush, I think at 84, and somewhat less than that for Obama, who was in the 60s, I believe, somewhere in the 60s. So, this guy isn't that damn busy, it would seem to me.
Maybe he thinks
he could get to the border.
He thinks Delaware is a border state.
Well, it is a border state to Vermont. No, it's not.
No.
It's not a no.
We'll just let it go.
They're not. Let me see if they're connected. They're not connected?
No, sir. No.
Delaware, Connecticut,
Maryland, New Jersey. Might want to try those. It's cool. It's cool. Let's move on.
No, it's really not.
I don't want to make this.
Cool.
Let's keep this about Biden. He sucks. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. You are right.
But what right-wing publication is pointing this out about his travels of Joe Biden? Crazy right-winger?
This one is as far right as you can get.
So they have an agenda, obviously.
CNN.com.
I see.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that CNN is pointing out that he
Lately they have.
Loves the vacation time.
Lately they have.
And Saturday Night Live finally takes a moment to mock him properly. This is, are things turning? Because it feels like the press might be getting, I don't know, a little bit tired of him already.
He got to go!
He's done 10 interviews so far, one-on-one interviews. I think this was the 11th with Anderson Cooper last week. So if you consider that an interview. So he's done 11 of those. There's no better way to piss off the media than not to be at their beck and call. At this same time in his presidency, Barack Obama had done 117 interviews.
Oh, wow.
117
that almost seems
to
like
10.
Too much.
It does.
Yeah.
More in the middle there was Trump at about, I think it was 50 or 55, somewhere in there.
But granted, if your interviews are what has enchanted you the most about being in the White House,
you're not going to mind doing them.
Yeah, right. But so is the left, are they getting tired of Joe Biden? Because I know Democrats are distancing themselves from him as we get closer to an election year. But it looks like it's turning on Dr. Fauci as well, because the NIH just admitted that, we funded we funded that stuff.
My gosh.
So
what was it they just they funded some dog research?
Okay. Oh no, that's separate. But that's also
my gosh.
That's what we call evil. What you're referring to?
Yeah. Bipartisan legislators are demanding answers from Fauci on these cruel puppy experiments. This is disturbing. Really sad.
Yeah, get the kids away, because this is just
a bipartisan letter demands answers from the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, and of course, President Biden's chief medical advisor. The White Coat Waste Project, the nonprofit organization that first pointed out the U.S. taxpayers were being U.S. taxpayer dollars were being used to fund the controversial Wuhan Institute of Virology. They've now turned their sights on Fauci and another animal testing related matter, infecting dozens of beagles,
puppies,
with disease-causing parasites to test an experimental drug on them. According to the White Coat Waste Project, the Food and Drug Administration does not require drugs to be tested on dogs. So the group is asking why the need for such testing. They claim 44 beagle puppies were used in a Tunisian North African laboratory, and some of the dogs had their vocal cords removed, allegedly so scientists could work without the incessant barking.
Your taxpayer dollars.
You know, because you don't want them barking when this is going on. Again, if you have kids in the room, you might want to turn down the volume for a second.
Yeah, because it gets worse. Never mind kids. Adults may not want to hear this. I mean, this is just tragic, evil.
This shows you what they're up to, though. This is unreal. Our investigators show that Fauci's NIH division shipped part of a $375,800 grant to a lab in Tunisia to drug beagles and lock their heads in mesh cages filled with hungry sand flies so that the insects could eat them alive. They also locked the beagles alone in cages in the desert overnight for 9 consecutive nights to use them as bait to attract infectious sand flies.
You have...
Okay, that's so despicable as to be absolute evil. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? And the NIH is funding that? The answer is yes. Apparently, yes, they are. So congratulations to Dr. Anthony Fauci and the NIH for figuring out, whether beagles bark when they're being attacked like that.
I mean, I don't know. You have to use the word evil for this, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, these poor dogs.
It is.
And universal condemnation on this. 23 congressmen and women signed the letter. It was 14 Republicans, 9 Democrats that want more information from him. Like, what is this all about? And, it's... On the one hand, it's unspeakable, and it's cruel, and it's torture, and it shouldn't be happening. On the other hand, it's like, if this is what it takes to wake people up to what the man has been doing to our society, not for the last 2 years, but for the last 30 years. Ask AIDS activists about this guy and some of the cruelty that they did with drug experiments with AIDS patients.
Yeah.
And he just... and orphans. I mean, you could go on and on with this guy. The man is psychotic. And this will be edited out on
and
YouTube.
we do worse than this because abortion. Mm-hmm. Look what happens during an abortion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unspeakable. And those aren't dogs. Mm-hmm. Those are human babies. Human unborn babies who get torn apart in the course of that procedure.
Literally.
And literally... Yes. And the older they get, the worse it is, and the more they feel. And yet, we're still doing it 1 million times a year or more. So, but if it takes puppies to wake people up, okay, so be it. Maybe we could start with the puppies and work on to the human babies. I'd like it to be the other way around, but people don't seem to care about the human babies.
And in so many cases, the beagles and many abortions around the world, you're paying for it. You're at work today paying for this.
Yeah. We've gone back since Trump left to funding abortion on a federal level and to funding abortions overseas again, which doesn't make any sense to me. But for some reason, our tax dollars are able to go to abortions in other countries. Huh. All right. Not one of my tax dollars should go to an abortion here, let alone overseas. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Right there, YouTube. Am I right? That's perfectly
It's too late,
normal. And
we've blown out the last 20 minutes, bro.
They should be. If they were vaccinated, they'd get treated. Okay. Bastards. Who's that on? It's on the people.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.